Hello, welcome back to the Excel 2016 training. In this video, we'll take a look at the ranges. Here is our employee spreadsheet, and before we dive into range of cells, let us revisit the cell itself. As we have looked at, a cell is the intersection of a row and a column. Say for example, D10. This particular cell is on the column D and is on the row 10, and the address of the cell is D10. A range is nothing but a group of cells. Say for example, D10, and if all I did was I clicked my left mouse, and with that being clicked, I dragged it. So now I select a group of cells from D10 through H10. So it's on the row. Now for a column, let's say I can do D10 with my mouse left button pressed. I can drag it down. Now I'm selecting a group of cells on a column. In this particular case, it is column D, and the range would be D10 through D24, and that is represented as D10 colon D24. In the previous case, it would be D10 colon H10. Now, you can also select a range in a rectangular form or a square. And that what I mean is you can not only do cells in a row or just cells in a column. You could do something like this. You can select multiple rows and multiple columns. Now here the range would be D10 colon H22. So this cell is H22 and this is D10, and D10 colon H22 represents the whole block of cells or range of cells. In order to select the whole row, you can just select, or I mean to say click on the row ID, and that selects the whole row. Now, but how do you represent that within your formula, or when you work with formulas? Say now you want to represent the whole row 10. So in order to represent whole row 10, it is 10 colon 10 that represents the complete row, every cell in that row. And to represent, or a range that represents the whole column, meaning every cell in that column D, it is D colon D. Now, why do we need to understand all these ranges? Is it really necessary? Yes, it is. One is, when you work with formulas, you work with cells and references, which we'll talk down the line. So that's where the ranges and all these, play a major role. And also there is, naming a group of cells, which we'll talk about all that in a later video, but all that will come into picture. So bear with me here, just try to understand how these ranges are represented, and they will come real handy. And in addition to this, you can also select non-contiguous ranges. So a range here and a range here. You can do that as well. I mean, to select that, what you do is, you select a range here and press your control key, and then, select any range you like. And why do we need to do this? Primarily, these are again different ranges, but you selected, it helps you in formatting. Say for example, you want to make these cells bold, or add some color to it. It's easy. All you do is select those cells and pick the color you like, and those cells are now with that particular color. Now You can also select each cell and do it, which takes quite a bit of time. So that's where multi-selection here, the way you select it kind of helps, automatically applies the formatting, any kind of stuff that you do to all those cells. That's where it comes handy. And there is a nice little keyboard shortcut that helps you avoid pressing the control key all the time, because accidentally, if you release the control key, everything is gone. And if you try to click around, everything disappears. By that, what I mean is, let's say I pick this, now my control key is pressed down, I do all this, and let's say accidentally I released it and clicked here. Look, everything is gone now. So in order to mitigate that, you have a nice little keyboard shortcut, which is Shift F8. So select a range or a cell, then do Shift F8, and then you can release your key, and you can just select as many cells as you like, and then you can do whatever formatting you want on those cells, and it's applied. So it kind of helps. Well, that's it about ranges and selecting non-contiguous cells, and you know what, I will see you in the next video.